So, Arsenal 2, West Ham United 0. For anybody who hasn't watched Kenny Ken's fan cam, why? What are you doing? For anyone who hasn't watched my fan cam and every other fan cam, Jez, Wax Online, and all the others, Josh, everyone else, like too many to mention, go and check them out. Kenny, for anyone who hasn't had the pleasure of watching your fan cam, give us your little 90-second breakdown before we get into player ratings.
Well, first and foremost, I think West Ham, I think they paid us too much respect. I think that the way they played was totally different from what we were seeing in terms of fast-paced football. Mikel Tony was playing within himself, that moved the ball really slowly. And I think if we didn't, in the first half, we didn't kind of lock on to what West Ham were doing, that they were paying us respect. And only towards the end of the first half, we were trying up the tempo and they were making last-ditch tackles. And I think Mikel must have told them in the second half, just up the tempo a little bit, move the ball quickly. And, the times we moved the ball quickly, we were getting behind them. And it was a good opportunity because I think, maybe West Ham were probably tired because of their excursions in the Europa League. And, they've lost their best defenders in Obwana and Zuma. Plus, they've lost Creswell as well. So when those three play, and because they've got the security at the back, they do move the ball a bit quicker. But today, I think they try and get men behind the ball. And, Dawson's not quick. Diop's quite quick, but Dawson's pretty slow. And I think, the key to the game today was Lacazette and Martinelli, getting West Ham up in the tempo a bit. And, it's no accident that both of them were involved in the first goal. And obviously, I thought Lacazette led the line really well. And I think we are showing we are showing that we can play without, over. But I must say, both West Ham and Southampton were negative after they went the goal down, and they were depleted. And I think the elephant in the room is that our home form is fantastic if you take away Chelsea, but we've got to do it away from home. Because if we are going to sort of get into the Europa League or top four, our away from has improved. The reason why I'm saying Europa League, because the elephant in the room is Man United, the fact that they got some more match winners than us. Plus, they've got the best player in the world. And I think if they click and go on a run, I think they're going to be difficult to catch for fourth place.
No, I totally agree. Listen, we were fantastic tonight, man. Great performances all over the park. And when I did the show with Matisse, Toby and Corey, the West Ham fan, big up to him. I sent him a voice note just on a joke one. Like, obviously, I'm still Arteta Rat. But Rat Army. But we were fantastic. And he even said on the show that I did earlier with him that if we sit back as West Ham and we sit back and we show you respect, you'll beat us. Yeah. If we actually have a go, like we have against Liverpool, Man United, Man City, Chelsea, etc., then we've got a chance. When I see their starting 11, I was like, Lanzini and 4 Nels. I thought that was a bit weird because normally one of them's not in the team and it's Ben Rama. So I was like, okay. Yeah, both technically gifted. Yeah, Ben Rama
slow
as well, to be fair.
They're not quick. I think West Ham. I think that's what killed West Ham today, is that when they play it up to, at the Olympic Stadium at home, they're very good. They're very good at home, especially against the best teams, because the best teams come at them and they can go and hit them on the break. But without Creswell and stretching teams, that doesn't enable Antonio to run in those channels. And I thought Antonio played within himself, and I think they were more worried about Martinelli and Saka, and I think that's what helped us win the game. That they were worried about the fact they were getting behind them, that we had stronger runners and more pace, and I think that enabled us to win the game. But I think what's happened is as I said earlier in the telecast, we took very much advantage of the fact that Southampton were missing some key players, and West Ham were missing some key players. So there were very good opportunities we could take, and obviously at home, the Emirates, I don't think anyone can complain about home form this season, especially with crowds.
No, we've been very good, man.
Like last season, without crowds, we're horrendous. But I think with crowds, that we are very good. But if we don't improve away from home and we're not consistent away from home, then we're going to have problems in terms of ambitions for the top four. I don't think the top four's on, but Europa League's on. However, that's not going to be satisfactory to me and you because we want our sort of challenge because our standards tend to have slipped from winning the league to getting the top four and then sacking Unai Emery because he can't get top four and accepting Europa League via a cup competition, or when our level seems to be 7th and 8th, and we need to move away from there to show proper
100%.
progress.
100%. Let's get into player ratings. Let's go with the goalkeeper. Clean sheet again. Made some kind of important saves.
Well, he made a great one from Bowen when Odegaard gave the ball away. But there were instances where he was a bit ragged with his kicking. I think he
got a bit lucky with a couple.
Got lucky with a couple, and I think Antonio, gave him a bit of a kick as well. But when he is required to do what he has to do, he's good. And I'm going to give him a 6 because I'm taking a mark off from his kicking, and sometimes he puts us in a bit of danger. So yeah, mark down for that.
Let's go to Kieran Tinney.
Kieran Tinney, if you notice, Kieran Tinney, he struggled, and I think his good mate Granit Xhaka helped fill in for him in terms of which enabled him to come back. But I think Kieran's kind of playing within himself. He isn't hitting the byline consistently, and he's concentrating more on defending.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think today, if there were times when I thought he was a bit slack, especially in the first half, but I think he proved in the second half. So I'm going to give him a 6. It wasn't a great performance from Kieran because I just still think that there's slight fitness issues there. Which is where
I agree. I think he was good, but he weren't great. But we know, and I've watched a podcast of him where he said that he used to play through injections and like on the edge, like 60%, and he'd still go out and play the game because he wanted to play the game.
Yeah.
And it was oh my God, how am I dealing with this guy today? Luckily for him, he dealt with players, and like you said, Xhaka filled in. Let's go to the opposite side. Tomiyasu.
See, Tomiyasu is a different fish. His fitness levels are better than Kieran at the moment, so he is able to go and help us in defence. And you know what? He's like really very much a steady Eddie. He's not spectacular, but he's very effective, and he hasn't let anyone down. That's why I'll always try to give him good marks. I always try to give him 7 above because that's what he's going to get, a 7, because he hasn't let us down since he's come to a football club.
He's the right back version of Monreal. Yeah,
yes.
Nothing flash, nothing fancy, but steady. Yeah, the odd iffy moment. Yeah, we've seen a few iffy moments where he's been roasted by Cucurella, Minamino. But listen, that game was mad anyway, the Liverpool game. But we allow that. But let's go to our centre backs. Benjamin White.
It was a testament to Ben White that in the parts of the game that Mikel Antonio had to go to the other channel because I thought Ben White handled him pretty well. I don't know whether Mikel Antonio's tired, but he certainly wasn't opening his legs out and getting that sort of pace. And I thought Ben White handled him pretty well. So I'm going to give Ben White a 7.
Yeah, there was a chance in the first half where he run at him, and I was like, oh no. Yeah, and then he recovered, and Tomiyasu helped him out, and then Benjamin just killed him off. Let's go to his partner in crime. Other than one lapse where he played Antonio in, which was the tackle you was on about on the goalkeeper. Other than that, I thought he played pretty well. But what do you think?
Well, ever since he's come back from injury, he's come to the side. There's no coincidence that we look more solid defensively, especially, a lot of people like yourself have said that Ben White is probably better than a 3. But I think when he has Gabriel alongside him, he can play in that back four because there's a bit of a partnership where, both of them take turns to bring the ball out. And I thought Gabriel looked solid. You're not going to do him on pace, and you're certainly not going to do him on strength. I'm going to give him a 7.
All right, let's go into midfield. Bukayo Saka.
I think Saka had a better game today. I thought he was very consistent in terms of in the the fact that he was causing West Ham a lot of problems, especially Dan causing Masuaku problems, and there were times when the midfield had to help out Masuaku, and that's testament to how Saka played today. There was a few issues with the final ball. I wasn't too happy with that, but in terms of the energy he possessed, I'm going to give him a 7 because it was one of his better performances today.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the last 2 games he's looked more energetic, 100%. His decision making is a little bit iffy at times, like shoot instead of pass.
I know there was a guy in front of me. He says, guy in front of me when he went in the first, I said, "For the love of God, Saka, put the cross in."
Let's go to the opposite side. Scored the first goal, Thierry Henry-esque, set up Laka for the pen, nutmegged Soufal, dragged back nuts. It was Sanchez Suarez-esque. For me, he was man of the match.
I tend to agree with that. I'm going to give him an 8 because I thought it was a very good energetic performance. And I think he was a catalyst for our improvement in the second half, where he upped the pace and he scared the life out of Dawson. And so, for me, I have to give him an 8. I thought it was a fantastic performance, and he's earned his right to be in the team. It's going to be very difficult for him to be out. And I think it'd be unfair if he loses his place, because
let's hope, fingers crossed, he ain't too injured, because he got thrown back on the pitch by our illustrious manager.
Yeah, but I think what it was is that he went off the pitch where we were reduced to 10 men. And I think managers that is very much a Mourinho thing, isn't it? I don't want to be outnumbered, although West Ham
rather
had
you
10
on
men
the
themselves.
pitch and go down.
Yeah, so in terms of we had a numerical advantage. By him going to the pitch, we no longer had a numerical advantage. And I think that was the same sort of thing with Partey at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last season, where he's off the pitch. We need him on the pitch, even though he's injured, because we want it to be 11-11. So I think that's what Arteta's madness came into it. And plus, if he goes down on the pitch, the game can be stopped.
100%. Let's go to Granit Xhaka. You said he filled in for Kieran Tinney, which he did. I thought that was one of his better performances.
I thought Granit played well today, and he was like, he played intelligently. He understood that his mate Kieran needed help, so he filled in with him and just put a body in there. So he knew that if he goes on that left-hand side, it would encourage Kieran to take a risk, because Kieran at the moment isn't taking the risks he was before. Maybe it's because of he's seen what's happened with Tavares, and that we were getting when Tavares loses the ball, there's a one-on-one with our defenders. So maybe he doesn't want. Maybe that's why Kieran's playing with himself. But today, Granit's a 7. To be honest, I can't lie. Granit hasn't actually done badly once he's come back in the team.
No, I don't know.
Although I do think I was frustrated with him at Everton. You know what I mean? Hello?
I have no idea what happened there.
There seems to be 2 of you, Lee.
Well, mate, listen, double trouble. I have no idea what happened there. There has been a problem.
That's all right, mate.
There's 2 league gunners. Jesus.
Yeah, but as I was saying before, you've got a good point, because I think Everton, he was wasteful, and because he got himself booked, he pulled out of a challenge. But today, he did make one mistake. He did give the ball away, but all in all, it was again. It was a midfield performance where I thought he and his mate Thomas thrived, because we upped the pace, we were in control.
And that's the thing. The tempo killed West Ham, because they were in the mode of sit back, Burnley-esque. Then we'll give it a go. Let's move on to Thomas Partey.
I thought he had a bet. I was happy with him against Southampton, and I was happy with him today. I think what it is that against the consistency, Thomas Partey needs to be consistent away from home, because in home matches he really isn't that bad, because we have a very, very good home record. But again, if you want to see the best of Thomas Partey, he's got to be more consistent. Today I thought he was good, in terms of his distribution. He fought, he loved the battle. I'm going to give him a 7.
Martin Odegaard.
I think he struggled. You know, I don't know if he struggled with fitness, but I think what's happening is that the final ball wasn't the best. He wasn't able to get in the box as much as I would like, and I think West Ham kind of dealt with him control. And I thought that our good friend Declan Rice, found him easy pickings. You know what I mean? And there were times when Rice was making those sort of runs that Martin wasn't able to track him, and I think that's why Martin got taken off, because we needed more energy there. So I'm going to give Martin below part of day, give him a 5.
Yeah, he looked knackered. I can't lie. It was a good sub from Arteta. Yeah, I'll give props where it's due. I think with Odegaard, because he's played so well in the last 2 or 3 games and he's scored, we were expecting a little bit more, and it was like didn't quite come off for you today.
No, it didn't. I don't think it came off.
Didn't quite come off.
Physically, I think West Ham were too physically. I don't think he coped with the
especially
strength.
In midfield you've got to have legs, and he looked knackered. I can't lie. Let's go to Lacazette, captain for the day.
Won a penalty, missed a penalty after winning a penalty. And I thought he was an absolute nuisance, but I thought, like the way he played in the second half was excellent. I'm going to give him a 7. There is dispute. I think it wasn't a penalty, but who am I to complain? Because Souček did get the ball.
Yeah.
And I think
Kufal.
Kufal got the ball. And so let's be honest, I think there was, where I was sitting, there was a genuine shock that it was given as a penalty and there was a sending off, because we're thinking, no people around me called for the penalty because we could see the way the ball deflated. But when he did the sort of B-movie actor thing, went down in instalments. I think that's what
triple somersault.
Yeah, but if you speak, yeah, but I think Mark Clattenburg was angry because he looked at the VIO thing and it wasn't a penalty. But I think, as I said before, West Ham were making tackles like in the first half, last ditch, putting their foot through the ball and through the player. It was only a matter of time that Taylor just had enough of it. He said, "Right, you've done it too many times. Now I'm going to give a penalty, and that way you'll stop doing it." I think that's how it looked to me.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, first half, it was you have a go on Saka, you have a go, you have a go, you have a go. Repeated fouling. Yeah, it was almost, it wasn't as bad as the Neville brothers on Reyes in that first half, but it was kind of similar. It was like repeated fouls on Saka, and it was like, come on, man. Like, but let's move on to the substitutes. Let's go with Emil Smith-Rowe. Came off the bench, scored. Well done.
To be honest, that was his only really contribution when he came off, because I thought the game was passing him by. Afterward, but he showed what he does best. He's actually probably one of their most effective players when we are on the counter attack, because he's got a good change of pace, which good players have, and he's a very direct when he goes into the box. He does look to go on goal, and he scored a fantastic goal today. So I'm going to give him a 6.
He's got a good shot on him as well.
Well, both feet, left and right.
Yeah,
foot.
left or right, and the goalkeeper had no open. Big up Saka as well. Listen, I criticise Saka a lot. I want him to step up more, and today he could have probably scored a couple, Saka, but he crossed it to no one. It's like, but Smith-Rowe is more. Yeah, Smith-Rowe's decision making
better.
He's more dynamic. Yeah. But big up Smith-Rowe, man. He's been sat on the bench for the last couple of games, and it's like you've come off and you took your chance again. Let's go to Eddie Nketiah. Came on in front of Pepe again, man.
The best way to describe Eddie Nketiah is the reaction of the crowd when he comes on. As far as I'm concerned, all bets are off. It hasn't got anything to do with the fact that he wants to leave. He's just not good enough. He's not good enough, and you could tell he makes he's trying too hard to make an impression. It's 2-0. He's on the bar in the box, and you want him to pick a player out, but because he's so desperate to make an impression, he got in a situation where he wanted to get in goal and try and have a shot from goal, and he loses the ball, and then we lose the main man to the tap. Obviously, we're 2-0 up, but he's one of those players where I say it with the greatest respect. he's blocking the path of Pepe, and he's certainly blocked the progress of Balogun. And the sooner that guy is out of the football club, the better, because I think it's best for all parties, because he offers really nothing. There's nothing there. He's just not good enough. He's a box player, and his level isn't Arsenal. So, and even when he came on, it was like 4. I'll give him a 4. And it's not just personal.
No, I know it ain't. It's never personal.
It's one of those people is that it's very hard to mark Eddie Nketiah, because he actually doesn't bring anything to the team. Yeah, obviously he does.
He's a 6-yard box.
He's a 6-yard
box. Franny Jeffers.
I think with Eddie Nketiah, if you're bombarding teams, you're creating chances, you want to think he's brilliant. But
he'd be good at Man City.
Yeah, but if you're not that tight team, which we're not, and we kind of have to build up play everything, it's not good. I think
let's go to Nuno Tavares.
Well, he came on. He came on for Kieran Tinney, because I think Kieran Tinney again was knackered, and he came on. And let's face it, he didn't really need Granit to help him out, because he has got the fitness to go down the byline and stay back. And I think with because we're on top and West Ham have just got no belief. And even when the Ashby came on, the ball was still being moved slow. Even when they were trying to twist it, we were able to get in position. He didn't have a difficult, time when he came on the pitch. So I'm going to give him a 5. And but it's an indictment of Kieran Tinney's proper lack of fitness, that there's more dynamism when Tavares comes on the field, and we look like we can stretch teams. So it's something
at the
Kieran
same
Tinney's.
time, we also look fucking wide open at the back.
And that's the thing. I think when
like
Tavares,
Everton when he came on.
Yeah, I think with Tavares plays, it's risk and reward. But
it is.
The reward is that we do look like we're hurting teams when he's inside, because
that's a false thing. It's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
Because he's so dynamic and he runs forward and he's so quick and he's a big lad and he's such an athlete. It's like you're now caught out of position, so you've got to hope somebody's there to protect you.
But I think
Kieran Tinney doesn't do it. He's no frills. He's just there. Kieran Tinney.
I think this season Kieran Tinney's standards have dropped.
100%
down to fitness, or it's down to the fact that we were pretty bad in the first few games. The fact is that Kieran, in order to keep this guy out of the team, I think Kieran needs to get proper fitness, and he needs to sort of have more confidence in being able to come down and back. I think he's lost a bit of his confidence.
He had scored that goal tonight. The confidence would have been flowing. Yeah, great save from Fabianski, by the way.
But I think Tavares is a work in progress, and I think maybe Mikel.
He's a good backup, though.
Yeah, he's a good backup. I think Mikel, who loves organisation and good defending, maybe needs to work a bit with him on the training ground. So, in defensive areas.
Position. Maybe Tierney can help him. Let's go to our illustrious manager. We're going to do a 3-2-1, and then we're going to shout the number out. Yeah, 3, 2, 1,
7.
7.
The reason why I'm giving him 7, because I think what's happening right now is that the way the team played in the second half, I have to give him credit for that, because the tempo was up. We upped the tempo, moved the ball quicker, and we got the just rewards, and we got a much better side for doing that. So it has to be something that the manager must have drummed to the players, and I'm very pleased with that. And I think I personally understand why he threw Martinelli on the pitch, because you can't stop the game when someone is injured when he's off the pitch. You just can't do that.
No, 100%. I was fuming, but I get it. I do get it. It's like getting back on the pitch over that white line, we can get the game stopped.
And I heard this transcript of the press conference, and he was mirroring what I'm saying. That not that I'm right, but I'm always right. But I think what's happening is that he did capture the mood of that. I'm frustrated with our inconsistency, and he's frustrated by it, because although he's happy we won both games, the fact is that we
Martinelli was not happy, by the way. When Martinelli came off, he high-fived Arteta, but he didn't even look at him. It was like, you threw me back on the pitch. Yeah, it was like, and the thing is, I get why Arteta's done it. Yeah, I totally get it. Get back on the pitch, roll around on the pitch. Don't roll around off the pitch because the game can't be stopped. So I get it. But at the same time, you've literally dragged me up and thrown me on, which I'm now standing on a leg or an ankle or a foot or a metatarsal that when I take a step or two steps could now do me another week.
Well, yeah, I think if you look at what he did today and what he did at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last season, it was for the right reasons, but it was kind of mistaken because these guys were genuinely injured.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Martinelli was genuinely injured. Partey was genuinely injured. So, in essence, it didn't help them because, obviously they were out for quite a bit of time. But I understand the sentiment. But obviously, if you look at the result of the whole thing, it won't look good because they're actually genuinely injured. And I think
listen, tonight it didn't really matter. Hopefully,
it didn't really matter, but I think I can understand the anger of Martinelli and Partey's confusion as well because I'm injured and you're throwing me back on and I'm risking a further injury. So
he literally grabbed hold of Martinelli tonight. It was like, he body slammed him back on the.
We could see it.
I get it. I do get it.
But the problem is that he's not the first manager to do it. Guardiola would do that. And Mourinho has definitely done that because you can only look at what Mourinho
Conte
did.
as well.
Well, you have to remember. Let's not forget the reason why Eva Canaria didn't stop working at Chelsea is because she ran on the pitch, and she went round the pitch when Chelsea were down to where Chelsea were getting outnumbered. So he got angry because the game's still going on, and she's trying to treat a player when the game's going on, and they're getting outnumbered. So I can understand from Mourinho's part why he got angry, but these guys, Hazard at the time was genuinely injured.
Yeah, when they're genuinely injured. But this is the thing, because players feign injury so often, as a manager or a medical staff, it's like, are they actually injured? So I get it. I do get it. But at the same time, listen, we won the game, so it's irrelevant.
Definitely, but I just hope that, that he isn't injured because, he's fought his way back in the side by coming on the score against Newcastle, and he's actually earned a starting berth. So he's going to be pissed.
Brilliant.
So if he's injured and he feels that his manager's contributed to a longer term problem, then he's going to be, of course, he's going to be pissed off.
Yeah, he can join the Aubameyang camp. We'll deal with Aubameyang on the podcast again.
Definitely, but I think in terms of Pierre Aubameyang is that regardless of what the reason is, you can't give your manager an open goal. It was an open goal. It was an open goal, and obviously, I think what's happened right is that you've allowed your manager to out you because Charles Watts did it. So your manager's outed you, and he's made the whole situation worse. So
now what? Now what? But listen, save that thought.
I'll save that for the show. Yeah,
for Sunday. Yeah, we play Saturday. Save that thought for Sunday.
Definitely.
We'll see if he's in the squad. But Kenny, listen.
One thing I will say is that don't let this escalate. Don't let this escalate. Don't play him because Lacazette's in form and he can't get out of the team. Don't leave him out because of the disciplinary measure. Don't discipline him. But if you don't want him around the club, then sell him. But if you're going to just discipline him and then carry on with the grudge, it's not workable for me.
100%. Hold that thought. Kenny Ken 1972, Insta and Twitter. We will be doing the podcast. We'll be doing this all over again, actually, on Saturday because we've got Leeds United away at a better hour. It's like 3:30 in the morning, my time, 2:30 Kenny's time.
Can I make you a secret?
Go on.
That in half an hour, there's going to be some cricket on, so
don't
feel too bad
anyway.
for me. Don't feel too bad for me.
Hey, Kenny, what time are you starting work?
I'm not working. I'm off for a few days.
The work know you're not working?
Oh, yeah, I've told them. I don't want to get sacked.
Whatever Kenny Ken says goes, mate. We don't argue with Kenny. Look at the size of him. Yeah. No, listen, Kenny, always appreciate the love, man. Fair
Love
play.
you too, mate.
I'm glad you had a good night tonight. I'm glad you see a good performance. You go rain or shine every single week. Yeah, home and every London away. Yeah, I'm so glad you see that. I'm so glad you've not brought the new merch. Or have you?
No, I haven't.
You're not swayed by the puppy, Kenny?
No.
No, okay. Come on, real one. Listen, thank you very much for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Listen, go and watch the cricket. Yeah, and we'll do this again on Saturday.
Good,
and then we'll do the podcast Sunday. Big up to everyone who's watched. Make sure you check out the fan cams. Kenny Ken 1972, Twitter and Insta. We're out of here. I'll take her out.